Well everyone, welcome back to the Model 3 Man channel. I hope you had a wonderful, entertaining, relaxing, fattening Christmas or whatever you have celebrated. I would normally not be uploading an episode in this gap between Christmas Day and New Year's, but an amazing thing happened and a weird thing. The amazing thing was I got a present from Elon. Well, technically from Tesla, and technically it was a software update, but when it was installing it said downloading present. And of course that was the wonderful thing. The weird thing was that it happened on Boxing Day. So folks back east in Toronto, they got a Christmas Day. The rather more laid-back town of Vancouver, we got it the day after. But then there was another weird thing. And the weird thing was this. They only sent me half a present. It was like they'd taken a present, grabbed a big knife, sliced it down the middle, and said, "Here we are, Peter, have half a present." So that was a very weird thing. I'm going to tell you about it tonight. Tesla update 2020.48.25 or 26, whichever number you choose to believe, on the update screen. There are probably going to be 100,000 or more of you who are going to be similarly disappointed that you only got half of a present. Hey, by the way, a combined Christmas and birthday present from all three of the ladies in my life is that little beauty. Just look at that. That is my first 5-string bass guitar. I played 4-string my whole life long, got used to it, but tricky with an extra string. But I'm going to be making another recording soon, and I'm going to be using that little fellow on the wall there, and we will put together something nice for you as well. But today, let's go into the car, take a look at what it is that Elon gave us in that gift, which was 2020.48.26 or 25, and tell you what were the elements that made it worthwhile and what were the ones that were disappointing for those of us who are only going to get half a gift. Well, Elon's gift arrived. It did not arrive on Christmas Day. I think that was limited to the folks across in Toronto. Trevor Page got his on Christmas morning. We got ours the day after, the old Boxing Day. However, I only got half of Elon's Christmas present to us, and I have a strong suspicion that many of you will only get half of that present. We'll come to that in just a moment, but let's take a look at what's changed. You can see there that it says 2020.48.25, even if I pull it down. And yet, it does tell us that we're on 2020.48.26. Not sure what the disparity is about, but that's not too important. So before we can get going and take a look at the interface as if we were about to drive, I have to touch the brake pedal, enter my PIN. Charge port is open right now. I'm just going to go and unplug the charger. Alright, let's take a look at exactly what has changed. You could see initially that when I started up and I entered my PIN, a whole series of indicators appeared on the left hand side, and that's the new location for a lot of the things we used to find across the top. The initial impression, the left hand panel is much wider. That has been reduced. This is not as wide as the folks that are using full self-driving beta version 8 at the moment. By the way, I believe that in Canada we're going to get our full self-driving beta around about beta 10 or 11. But it is wider. It used to be about there, and now it's moved out to there. Autopilot symbols appear across the top. So we're in drive mode. Across the top is the new location. We'll take a drive and I'll show you that. Two significant changes to the interface. The windscreen wipers and the rear camera have moved. They've joined other icons on the bottom. They're easier to get to, so if I just tap on that, I have access to it. If I tap on the rear camera, I have immediate access to that as well. The letter T at the top is gone. It used to be up there. When you went into letter T, you could get information about your car. You could get release notes. Well, we can still get into the car controls, still get into software. There is the information you got with your letter T previously. And if I wanted to look at additional vehicle information, I could check there that I've got the premium audio, autopilot computer, full self-driving. I have hardware version 3.5. Well, if I wanted to look here at the release notes for this particular release, tap on that there. Here we go with all of the release notes. A general comment here, I think if you look at everything, all of the navigation and the menu items and the indicators are all in a lighter shade of gray. They are more understated. I'm not convinced that I necessarily like that. They've tended to go for the nice light, medium gray, shades of gray. You'll decide if you like it. That's the change to the interface. I wouldn't mind if they gave us some display options. For example, we could say, could we make that panel a little narrower or a little wider? Could we change the letters, make the menu icons and the text darker or even black? Well, there's no option for that at the moment. There's not a lot of customization to the interface. I think they want to keep it under their control. They don't want people doing things that will break the interface or cause a tougher time when they're getting support calls. So I do understand the rationale behind having a single user interface like this. Everything on this car avatar, if I go back into park mode, everything is animated. If I open my front door, it does it. If I close it, it closes. How about if I drop the front window down? Yeah, look at that. You can see it. That is very cool. I mean, that just is cool. I know it doesn't do anything, but it certainly shows you. And if you've left a window open, oh, listen to that noise. How about the rear window? A little bit squeaky, but not too bad. Push it up. Can I spin the car around? No. Can I make it bigger or smaller? No. The avatar in park mode is absolutely fixed. How about the opening of the charge port? There we go. Charge port opens and immediately the charging display panel opens up. If I close that, closes the panel, closes the charging flap over here, and it dispenses with the charging information panel. I'm not going to tap on the front and the trunk because then I have to get out of the car and close them again. When I tap to go into driving mode, it spins around. Oops, I've got to enter my PIN again. You know why it's a good idea to do that, guys? I've had occasions when I've left my phone in the car. Anybody could have jumped in, driven off, put a 4-digit PIN that takes you 2 seconds to tap it in, and you can be on your way. But it is a safety measure. Let's go to the release notes and just have a look at things here. So from the very top, a new game, The Battle of Polytopia. I'm not a gamer. Good for those who enjoy them. I'll never go into them. There's Cat Quest. It's a new arcade feature. Never going to visit it. Solitaire. Janine's going to play with that. She used to play Solitaire on her iPad forever. Then she gave it up and watches Netflix movies now, but it's here. And then we notice something is missing. Well, you'll only notice if you went and watched Trevor Page's really excellent early review of the Christmas update. If you've not seen it, go across to Tesla Owners Online. I'll put a link in the description below. Go and check Trevor's initial impressions, and you'll see why I only got half of the Christmas present, and it's likely that most of you will also only get half. You see, newer Model 3s had the presence of a speaker, external speaker, under the front fender. The purpose, of course, is to be able to create noise and sounds when you're moving at low speed to indicate to people that somebody's coming up on them. This was not present in this early release of the Model 3, which I got in June 2018. So because I don't have that external speaker, I do not have Boombox. Not there. What does Boombox do? Oh man, it's cool. Lets you turn your car into a portable media center. You can change the sound of your horn.
But the big improvements really come into Toy Box. Let's take a look here. Here under the new one is called Boombox. Entertain a crowd with your media player when you're parked. You can adjust the sounds your car makes. Please check local laws before you use it in public places. You can add up to 5 custom sounds. Connect a USB key or device with a directory named Boombox. So now we can actually change the horn sound. This is the feature that everybody's been asking for some time now, be able to play a sound. So let's try Posh, and I can actually replace the horn with this. So let me just play the sound real quick.
Well, I never.
There we go. We'll try some other ones like Goat.
You can play custom music and sounds. You take your USB stick, you create a folder called Boombox, and you add custom sounds in there, and you can change the sound of your horn and the sound when you are summoning your car, all kinds of fun things. We don't have it. Can I get a speaker on mine? Boombox is not there, and nor is the emissions testing mode improvements. Now, obviously, I still have emissions mode. If I go and look in the toy box, there it is. It's known as the farting app. Fart on demand. It works. But what did Trevor get when he saw emissions testing improvements?
Here under emissions mode, not only do you have the internal fart sound, but now you can play it on the outside of the car. I have some people outside, so let's see if they react.
So if a lot of you are looking at all the reviews that talk excitedly about the Boombox feature and the custom sounds, and you don't see it, now you know why. Not Elon's fault. It's our fault for buying early and being early adopters. Let's just check what else is in the updates and improvements. Visualizations, we know that. The panel is wider. It gives more room to the activity on the road around us. It gives you a better feel for it, and they've just changed the location of things. There's where your autopilot symbols appear, right next to the current speed indicator. Departure improvements. Many different utilities offer us rate plans where you can get reduced charging in off-peak hours. Well, if that's the case with you, you can set the time when those peak hours expire, and you can stop the car from charging after the rate goes up. So that's pretty cool there. How about supercharger display improvements? So let's drop out of here. Let's go and tap the charger icon. Let's go and have a look here. Just enlarge that. That number in the red indicator gives us the number of open charge bays. 20 stalls available. Pretty good. Here, that's at Vancouver and Burrard Street, there are 4 available. Tap on one of the indicators, it'll give you information about the charging at that location, food, all the rest of it. I want to navigate to it, I'll simply tap on that, and my navigation will immediately update. Well, I'm going to cancel that because else it's going to start to precondition the car. Then, of course, these are all much the same across the top. I have an alert. It says, dash cam USB drive is getting full. I had thought that it actively deleted older files when it was getting close to full. That might indicate that there is maintenance for me to do, so I'll take the drive out today and put it on my computer and see what I want to keep and what I'm happy to throw away. That's Sentry mode, of course, and that's dash cam. Those are all the same. So no big changes there. So what I'm going to do now is just take the car out for a quick drive. We'll go and have a look at how this newly enlarged left side panel, how the information has changed or improved, or if it hasn't changed. And you can see how the autopilot symbols make their appearance in here. Just going to get out on the road and have a look at this newly enlarged panel and see if it has anything different to offer us. So I'm putting my foot in the brake, got to enter the pin. Very important safety measure. Drive mode, car readies itself. It detects the stop sign ahead, that's good. We're in drive mode, we're going to get going. Have a look at the visualization, see if you can see anything different. If you do, that I don't mention, please put it in the comments below. On to Lynn Valley Road. You see the autopilot icons across the top now? There we go. It used to respond very badly to cars parked on the right-hand side of the road. We'll see what it does now. We're coming up to a controlled pedestrian crossing. So we can cross now. I do notice that the traffic light signals are larger. So we've got some cars parked on the right. It didn't even show that. It showed a man walking and there wasn't. So it doesn't seem to indicate the cars that are actually just parked, which is interesting, but those driving full self-driving know that it indicates everything and shows that it's aware of it. That is not a guy walking, but a guy on a bike. It's a pedal bike, but the car is trying to make sense of it. I can get into autopilot here even while I'm stationary, just behind the line. Now it's detecting a guy who's facing the same direction we're going, and he's on a cycle, not a motorbike. Autopilot unable to proceed, please take over. All I'm going to do is put my foot on the accelerator when the lights change for us, and it seems to come right. So let's have a look. Yep, there we go. Now it's back in control. Stopping for traffic control on 100 meters, that's good because it is red. As you can see up there, it's red. Got two people walking across the road. It sees it as one person, but they are right alongside of each other, so it's an easy mistake to make. The car will now be pulled by the car in front of us. In other words, as it proceeds through the green lights, we'll proceed. That's not a change in behavior. That's been done before. Well, look, as far as I can see, I don't notice anything different in the visualizations. That was rather an abrupt stop. Very abrupt. So, yeah, I've had time to think about it now that I've recorded in the car and taken that little trip. And I thought about it for a while. You know, really being able to change the sound on your horn and play with different audio clips. It's cute, it's novel, it's fun, but it isn't the end of the world. And the fact that I didn't get it, I think what hurts most is just being left out, being on the outside. But anyway, am I going to try and find a way to install that speaker in the car, connect it to the MC and make it work? I don't know. You know, when a speaker first came out, everyone complained that they didn't want a speaker in the front of the car. They didn't want fake sounds to let people know that there was a car. And now everyone wants a speaker because Elon allows us to change what fake sounds we're having. I'll be investigating and seeing if it's worth it, but I probably will not go to that trouble. I'm much more excited for full self-driving beta, because I've heard that when they get to beta 10 or possibly 11, it'll come to Canada. Right now, FSD beta is on number 8, so we're not far away. And when that comes, little fake noises from the car speaker, little weird horn sounds will have zero appeal, and we'll be learning how to use full self-driving. So thank you again. I appreciate the generosity and the kindness of those of you who have donated, those of you who've gone to my photography website, and some of you have signed up for some of the classes. Remember, it's a 40% discount or cut on the course prices going right through until the 4th of January. So please take advantage of that. If you're into photography and you've wanted something to give you step-by-step instructions on how to properly set up a camera, how to import and organize pictures, how to take your photographs, edit and enhance them, and finally, how to export, use them, save them in different formats, make books. It's on my school website. I'd love to have you there. Look after yourselves. I'll see you again in the next episode, which will probably be the beginning of 2021. A whole new and wonderful year for us. COVID just a distant memory. Really? Well, the vaccine is out. Let's see how that goes. Cheers for now.